Так, добрый день. Начинаем наш вебинар. Большое спасибо всем, кто к нам сегодня присоединился. Сегодня у нас вебинар посвящен Великобритании, но также сегодня мы пригласили нашу коллегу из университета Оксфорд-Брукс, которую я представлю ее вам чуть позже, и она расскажет подробнее про программу, про сам университет, и я также расскажу в целом про магистратуру в Великобритании, чем она отличается от других программ обучения, в чем специфика страны, как подавать документы, как составить успешный пакет документов, какие есть стипендиальные возможности, и в конце обязательно ответим на все ваши вопросы, те, которые вы нам прислали до вебинара, и на те, которые вы можете задать прямо сейчас, по ходу вебинара, и напечатать в окошке чата, который вы видите перед собой. Давайте проверим связь, как меня слышно. Пожалуйста, напишите, поставьте плюсики если, в чате, если слышите меня хорошо. Угу. Так, все замечательно. Все хорошо слышно. Тогда давайте начнем. Немножко расскажу о себе. Меня зовут Катя Минаева. Я ведущий консультант компании NS Graduate Admissions. У меня самой довольно богатый большой опыт обучения за рубежом, в том числе и в основном на стипендиальных программах. В этом году я закончила программу Erasmus Mundus по исследованиям и инновациям в высшем образовании с полной стипендией. До этого закончила стипендиальную также программу в Ирландии, немножко поучилась в Англии. И в целом уже вот около 5 лет помогаю студентам поступать в зарубежные вузы. Сегодня расскажу еще раз про то, что у нас сегодня в вебинаре. Мы поговорим об особенностях магистратуры, магистерского образования в Британии, о типах британских вузов, об особенностях обучения, примерах конкретных вузов рассмотрим, особенности, в частности, рассмотрим Оксфорд-Брукс более подробно, и поговорим о требованиях приемной комиссии, о том, как приемная комиссия отбирает студентов, в чем секрет успешных заявок, успешного пакета документов, и в самом конце у нас будет секция вопросов. Итак, начнем с самого главного. Почему именно Британия, в чем ее преимущество перед другими странами, почему ее стоит рассматривать вообще как образовательное направление. С одной стороны, конечно, Британия — это эталон в образовании. У британских вузов очень сильная репутация. 16 из 100 топовых университетов мира находятся в Британии. Это очень много. То есть обычно в европейских странах это примерно 1-2 вуза. То есть это действительно родина и самой западной системы образования во многом, и родина вот старейших университетов, таких как Оксфорд, Кембридж, UCL, University of Edinburgh и так далее. Можно этот список продолжать очень долго. Это англоязычная страна, это значит, что когда вы будете искать стажировку или в дальнейшем работу, вам не нужно будет учить дополнительный язык. Это тоже очень большой плюс. И, кроме того, система образования очень диверсифицирована. Что это значит? Что есть топовые университеты, очень сильные, которые берут только, допустим, студентов с сильным 5.0, 4.8 средним баллом. Есть вузы среднего уровня, куда возможно поступить с относительно невысоким средним баллом. То есть качество обучения у вас в любом случае будет очень хорошее, но при этом есть возможность поступить, даже если вы, допустим, закончили бакалавриат не очень хорошо. И еще одна очень хорошая особенность — это продолжительность обучения, потому что программы, как правило, очень интенсивные, но, как правило, они все длятся 1 год. То есть вам не нужно будет в течение 2 лет тратить еще 1 год на магистратуру. Для тех, кто скорее хочет приступить к работе, это очень хорошая опция. Вот на этом слайде я хотела вам показать топовые самые университеты британские. Как вы видите, Оксфорд — это университет номер 1 в мире. Кембридж — это второй, Imperial College — восьмой в мире, UCL — 16-й в мире, Лондонская школа экономика — 25-я. Все эти вузы и так далее, этот список дальше можно продолжать. Вы можете зайти на сайт Times Higher Education и посмотреть рейтинги более подробно. И там же есть рейтинги по отдельным специальностям. То есть вы можете посмотреть, какие вузы хороши именно в том, что вы хотите изучать. И, как я уже сказала, продолжительность 1 год и стоимость от 14 фунтов в год. Есть определенные стипендиальные возможности, на них я остановлюсь чуть-чуть попозже. Что еще важно помнить? Если у вас проблемы с английским, то есть курсы такие, как Pre-Sessional English или Pre-Masters. То есть вы можете взять или же, допустим, короткий Pre-Sessional на несколько месяцев, на 1 семестр и подтянуть язык до нужного уровня. Или вы можете взять Pre-Masters, допустим, полугодовой или годовой. Это немножко другой формат. Допустим, если вы кардинально хотите поменять специальность, программу, то, допустим, вы заканчивали бакалавриат в одном направлении, а магистратуру вы решили, что вы хотите все-таки достаточно сильно изменить. Тоже здесь Pre-Masters может быть хорошим вариантом. Что касается поиска работы, то во время обучения лучше всего начинать уже искать работу, и притом гораздо лучше, допустим, если вы начали в сентябре учиться, то есть вы можете месяц-полтора освоиться, влиться в учебу, и затем уже с октября, с ноября, вот, то есть прям практически сразу искать работу, потому что это процесс очень длительный, то есть вам нужно рассылать много-много резюме, не одно, не два, а 5, и даже не 5, а там 20-50. Вот, это, конечно, занимает время, но, с другой стороны, там много очень хороших профессиональных возможностей. И, кроме этого, некоторые университеты, вот в частности Оксфорд Брукс, о котором более подробно речь пойдет дальше, предлагают стажировки от 3 до 9 месяцев. Но вот в Оксфорд Брукс там даже более длительные есть стажировки. Где вы можете посмотреть рейтинги британских университетов? Вот есть несколько хороших рейтингов: Times Higher Education, QS, World University Ranking, Complete University Guide — это внутренний британский рейтинг. Он очень подробный, и он описывает только британские вузы. То есть, если вы нацелены на Британию, то это должен быть один из ваших основных источников, критериев выбора. Тем более, что он тоже есть общий рейтинг, есть рейтинг по специальностям. То есть, вам важно посмотреть общий рейтинг вузов, и также вам важно посмотреть, если вы, например, поступаете на маркетинг, вам важно посмотреть, какой рейтинг у университета по области бизнес-менеджмент, маркетинг и так далее. Есть еще для тех, кто хочет поступать на бизнес-программы, есть еще Financial Times Ranking. Это рейтинг магистерских программ бизнес-школ. То есть это еще более такая специфическое ранжирование, и на этот рейтинг очень смотрят работодатели. Поэтому я очень советую вам не упускать вот эти критерии из виду, обязательно обращать на них внимание. Типы британских университетов. Хотела рассмотреть с вами еще поподробнее, какие вузы бывают, потому что очень легко запутаться. То есть понятно, что есть, допустим, там Оксфорд, Кембридж, но остальных вузов настолько много, и рассказывают они про себя столько нравится развиваться, конкурировать с другими университетами, приглашать к себе как можно более успешных студентов. Поэтому сейчас немножко разберемся, какие бывают вузы и что может подойти именно вам. Первая группа — это топ британских университетов. Например, это Оксфорд, Кембридж, Лондонская школа экономики, UCL, Imperial College London, и еще есть несколько вузов, которые, допустим, King's College и так далее, которые находятся вот в самом топе рейтингов. И что важно помнить, если вы рассматриваете такие университеты? Во-первых, это очень высокий конкурс, то есть студенты со всего мира, отличники, подают документы именно в эти вузы. И ваши показатели, то есть важно, допустим, если вы поступаете в такой вуз, то лучше начать подготовку к этому за год, а еще лучше еще пораньше. То есть у вас должен быть очень высокий средний балл, у вас должны быть какие-то дополнительные достижения, чтобы приемная комиссия видела, что вы яркий студент. И от студентов ожидается полное в обучении. То есть в таких вузах студенты рассматриваются как коллеги, которые пришли в вуз для того, чтобы набрать себе знаний. То есть вас никто не будет прям очень так сильно подробно курировать, и вы полностью на 100% отвечаете сами за все свои дедлайны, сроки и так далее. То есть это очень большая ответственность, но и, соответственно, результат тоже очень высокий, хороший. Большая учебная нагрузка. И еще один очень важный и интересный момент. Очень многие преподаватели или очень плотно занимаются наукой, или занимают ведущие позиции управленческие в крупных известных компаниях. То есть или с вами будет работать тот, кто находится на переднем крае науки. Для исследователей это очень, для тех, кто планирует затем на PhD поступать, это вот очень хорошая, важная возможность. И если вы практик, если вы нацелены на то, что дальше вы будете прям сразу ринетесь на рынок труда, то это тоже очень полезно, потому что вы будете учиться у тех, кто непосредственно вот практикует, решает практические задачи успешно каждый день в своей работе. Стоимость в таких университетах, в топовых вузах, начинается примерно от 20 тысяч фунтов в год. У таких вузов есть внутренние стипендии. Их довольно сложно выиграть. Больше всего таких стипендий у Оксфорда, но и в других вузах тоже есть. Есть также частичные стипендии. Имеет смысл на них, если у вас очень хороший профайл, имеет смысл в любом случае на них подавать. И важно иметь в виду, что время для подачи заявки начинается в октябре. То есть, чем раньше вы подаете документы, тем больше шансов у вас на то, чтобы продолжить обучение, на то, чтобы успешно поступить, продолжить обучение в этом вузе. Потому что, то есть, когда вузы зачисляют по такому принципу, что, допустим, в начале на программе 20 мест, и когда вы подаете заявку, то вот вы конкурируете, у вас конкурс, допустим, определенный, и у них есть 20 мест, которые они могут распределить. Допустим, в декабре или в январе понятно, что уже кто-то из студентов зачислился, и осталось, допустим, 10 мест. И, конечно, критерии, то есть чем ближе, то есть чем позже вы подаете, тем строже будут критерии отбора. Поэтому здесь время может быть вашим союзником, подавайте как можно раньше. И вот, допустим, хороший пример — Лондонская школа экономики. Очень хороша тем, что там действительно много практиков и много ведущих исследователей, особенно как раз, понятное дело, по экономике и по политическим наукам. Конкурс 15-20 человек на место. Это сопоставимо с остальными топовыми вузами, допустим, с Гарвардом или даже с MIT. Это второй университет в рейтинге QS в мире, что очень круто, и очень много направлений по магистерским программам. То есть там действительно хороший большой выбор, есть что для себя подобрать, и отличительная особенность в том, что программы очень специфические. То есть вы можете, допустим, выбрать или финансы, или вы можете выбрать финансовый инжиниринг, или вы можете выбрать финансовые технологии, вот вплоть до таких подробностей. То есть довольно специфичные программы. Как я уже говорила, преподаватели отбираются очень тщательно для таких вузов, и вот в ЛСИ, например, 18 нобелевских лауреатов по различным дисциплинам ведут курсы. Вторая группа университетов — это университеты, вот мы их так условно называем, Tier 1, то есть это все равно престижные вузы, но они чуть-чуть попроще, чем самый-самый топ. И это, как правило, тоже очень хорошие университеты в плане преподавания. Например, один из самых старейших — университет Эдинбурга, или очень престижный университет Манчестера, университет Бристоля, университет Бата. То есть у них, как правило, такие настолько богатая академическая традиция. Многие из этих вузов действительно имеют такую довольно серьезную историю в несколько веков, и стало быть, то есть там фундамент для обучения закладывался для оттачивания преподавательских каких-то инструментов, для работы со студентами оттачивался действительно веками, десятилетиями. В чем особенности еще таких университетов, кроме сильного уровня образования? Чуть меньше конкурс на поступление, то есть если вы подаете в топовый университет, имеет смысл хотя бы один университет из Tier 1 включить про запас на всякий случай, если вдруг вы не поступите в топ. Хорошая база для исследований, много возможностей для дальнейшей учебы. Это действительно так. У университетов очень сильный исследовательский трек. То есть, если вы в дальнейшем планируете поступать на PhD, вот один из таких вузов может быть для вас очень-очень хорошей опцией. Часто такие вузы лидируют в предметных областях. То есть, например, может быть такое, что какой-нибудь, университет из Tier 1 например, по экономике, или же по преподавательским наукам, или же по естественным наукам выходит в больший топ, да, то есть более рейтинговый, более котируется, чем, допустим, университет из самого топа. И нужно обращать внимание, есть такая группа университетов, которая называется Russell Group. Это аналог Лиги Плюща американской, и как раз многие университеты Tier 1, они как раз входят в эту группу. Вот, то есть вы можете погуглить, посмотреть, поискать, что может подойти для вас. Стоимость также от 20 тысяч в год. И время для подачи заявки с октября по конец июня. То есть если вы, допустим, считаете, что вы немножко опаздываете подать на топ, то тем более стоит включать такие университеты, потому что у них чуть-чуть дедлайн немного более отодвинут ближе к лету. То есть у вас есть больше времени, чтобы подготовить документы для поступления. Вот, допустим, хороший пример. CAS Business School. Наша студентка Оксана там отучилась, и вот что она говорит о процессе подачи, что была у нее такая ошибка. В первом полугодии очень хотела в университет Торонто, это тоже очень-очень высокий топ, второй университет Канады. Долго туда готовилась, долго собирала документы, никакого результата не было. Если бы то есть это было деморализующе, что понятно. Если бы в первом полугодии подавалось, например, в 5 школ, то, может быть, я бы уже куда-то поступила и меньше волновалась. То есть совет такой, что обязательно включайте вузы разных категорий при подаче, для того, чтобы диверсифицировать шансы, для того, чтобы как можно, то есть больше у вас было шансов на то, что вы поступите. Вот, тоже хороший пример. University of Edinburgh, как я уже говорила, 27 место в мировом рейтинге вузов, это тоже очень и очень сильный показатель. И вот, 14 место по направлению Arts and Humanities, то есть он и второе место по философии, то есть он обгоняет очень многие топовые университеты. Обучение в малых группах, на одного преподавателя приходится всего 12 студентов, это тоже большой плюс. И это 6-й старейший университет на всем англоязычном пространстве, то есть включая Ирландию, Великобританию, США, Канаду и так далее. И вот следующий очень интересный раздел, интересная группа университетов, это молодые университеты. И вот как раз про них хотелось бы поговорить чуть-чуть поподробнее. Например, примеры таких университетов — это Oxford Brookes University, Strathclyde, отличный университет, в котором когда я первый раз поехала на обучение, я выбрала этот вуз и не пожалела. На тот момент я изучала морскую архитектуру и кораблестроение, и я была очень впечатлена тем, на каком серьезном уровне там устроено образование, какие там действительно очень мощные лаборатории, исследовательские центры и так далее. И допустим, University of Edinburgh на Пье, тоже хороший вуз. То есть такие вузы, как правило, они менее престижны в рейтингах, и поэтому они стараются за счет других инструментов, допустим, расширенные стажировки, больше работы со студентами. То есть таким образом они стараются восполнить свое такое отсутствие преимущества на рынке в качестве рейтинга. И зачастую опыт в таких вузах может быть как раз именно тем, что вам нужно, и он может быть не хуже, чем, допустим, университеты Tier 1 или в некоторых случаях даже топ. Что важно? Поскольку вузы молодые, то они очень часто применяют современные методы обучения, у них много выбора современных специальностей, динамичная академическая среда, то есть нету вот таких вот инертных традиций, все очень современное, меньший конкурс на поступление, часто они предоставляют дополнительные форматы и возможности, например, стажировки, какие-то проекты с компаниями во время обучения и так далее. И много сотрудничают с индустрией, то есть здесь у вас будет много опыта практического. И еще одна приятная новость, они стоят немножко дешевле, около 14 тысяч фунтов в год. То есть это тоже может быть плюсом при выборе таких вузов. И подача здесь такая же, как и в университеты предыдущей группы, то есть можно подавать весь год, но, конечно, все равно лучше подавать пораньше, тем более в те вузы, где есть возможности частичных стипендий. Сейчас я предоставлю слово Люси, нашей коллеге из Оксфорд Брукс, и я заранее извиняюсь, если у нас будет небольшие... Нет, все работает. Все замечательно. Hi, Люси. Нет, все-таки немножко... Так, придется... Нам нужно подождать с вами одну минутку. Hi, Lucy. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, so please go ahead.
Okay, try now. Can you hear us? Can you hear us now?
Right, yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, let's try again. Здравствуйте. I'm Lucy, and I'm from Oxford Brookes University. With me, we've got one of our students. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Всем привет, меня зовут Юля. Я была приглашена в качестве, я студентка магистратуры в Oxford Brookes. Так хотела бы также вам поделиться своим опытом, рассказать немного о своей учебе. Если будут какие-то вопросы, задавайте.
Okay, so what we're going to do today is I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about Oxford Brookes University, tell you a little bit about who we are, where we are, and why it would be great for you to come and study here. And then we'll also talk a little bit about some of the benefits of modern universities and why it's particularly good to study at a modern university. Can everybody hear me, understand me, or do you need me to speak slower? If you need me to slow down, just type it into the chat box and I can slow down. Okay, great. So these are some of the things that we're going to talk about in the presentation. So first we're going to look at modern universities and some of those benefits, and then we're going to move on more specifically looking at Oxford Brookes. And then Yulia is going to tell us a bit about being an international student at Oxford Brookes. Okay, so why choose a modern university rather than one of the more traditional universities? Well, I've identified four main reasons for you to choose modern universities over more traditional universities. So what we mean by modern university is generally a university that's less than 50 years old. And there are some really good modern universities in the UK, and we have some really unique things to offer students. The four things that I think are really beneficial for modern universities are the practice-based learning, the state-of-the-art facilities, the employability, and social and entrepreneurial engagement. So let me just unpack those a little bit more for you. So a lot of modern universities have very practical learning opportunities, very practical degrees. Rather than just focusing on the theory of the academic subject that you're studying, they incorporate lots of practice-based modules, opportunities for you to engage with the industry, all of which then improves your chances of employability. So some of the ways that they might do this is through allowing you to take part in live projects with clients, allowing you to have interaction with real clients or customers, for example within the business sector or financial sector. And also for some of our arts-based programs, having the opportunity to put on exhibitions or events that students can attend and also members of the public can attend. Modern universities tend to have very purpose-built facilities, so because we're young, it means that the facilities that we have were built specifically for the programs that we have on offer. So let's take, for example, some of our biological programs or our health and science programs. We have purpose-built laboratories specifically designed for those programs so that we can cater for the practical element of the course as well as the theoretical element. and that's something that is you would find a lot more in a lot of modern universities, where they have actually designed their program and then designed their campus and their buildings around the programs that they have to offer. And also because we tend to offer a range of courses in modern universities, so not just the traditional historic courses, but also some less traditional, more practical courses. For example, hospitality and business programs, and art-based programs, architecture, all of which require very specialist facilities, and that's something that modern universities are really good at providing. We spoke a little bit about employability. So one of the ways that you can enhance your employability, and one of the ways that modern universities will enable you to do that, is through integrating work placements and industry experience as part of your degree. And also professionally accredited degrees, so degrees where a professional organisation recognises and awards a professional employable qualification alongside the degree. And then when we talk about social and entrepreneurial engagement, what we're really talking about here is how we, as modern universities, engage with the community that we're in. So how do we engage with the city or the country that we're based in? How do we engage with the more global issues that we're facing, environmental issues? How do we give back to the community the knowledge that we're gaining at the university? And that's something that modern universities are very in touch with and engaged with. So moving on more specifically then to Oxford Brookes. So just to give you a little bit of an overview of Oxford Brookes. So we are actually the top modern university, so the top young university in the UK. So in the QS World Rankings, we were the only university in the UK to feature in their young university rankings. So we're a very well-renowned university despite our young years. We are a university committed to investing a lot of money and time in our facilities for our students. You can see on the presentation slide some of our buildings here. So this is our School of Architecture that you can see in the background. And you can see that we really take a lot of care and attention, and we prioritise being able to provide top facilities for students. We've already invested £150 million in our estates and in our buildings over the past 5 years, and that's something we're increasing as well in the next few years. We were the first fair trade university in the UK, so we are, as I mentioned, we're very committed to social, global and environmental issues. And as a university, we try to be as sustainable as we can in our use of bus services and provision of free bus services, in our recycling policies, in the way that we just engage with the environment and make sure that we are all globally aware as citizens of the university. We're a top sports university, so if you're into sports, then we are the university for you. We've got a range of really top quality sports facilities, including a climbing wall, and we've got a swimming pool, fitness facilities, all sorts, and we have lots of top performing university sports teams as well that you can join while you're here. And we're really careers focused, so we have really strong links with industry, so that means that through placement opportunities and also just through mentoring schemes and connections and modules, you can engage with employers in the city and in the wider region as well. So a little bit about our history then. So as I said that we were a modern young university, which we are, but we actually started a long time ago. So we started as a School of Art in 1865. This is one of the reasons why Oxford Brookes is particularly strong at arts-based subjects and design-based subjects such as architecture, because that's the history, the foundation of the university. And then we eventually, over the years, we developed more and more subject areas and more expertise. So, for example, social sciences, technical school, and then eventually we became an actual university in 1992, where we are now. So, location. Oh, looks like that's just chopped off a little bit of the end, so I do apologise for that. Our location, so we are in the city of Oxford. I'm not sure how many of you have been to Oxford before, But as you can see, you can just see in the corner a snapshot of the city. That's the high street you can see. You may know that Oxford is known as the city of dreaming spires. That's because we have lots of really beautiful architecture. We share the city with the University of Oxford. So there are two universities in one city, and the University of Oxford has many beautiful, very old buildings. So you have the contrast of very modern facilities and very new buildings for Oxford Brookes with the very old and traditional buildings of Oxford University. And one of the benefits of being in the same city as Oxford University is that you can actually access some of the union facilities, some of the union's talks and seminars, and join in with some of the benefits that Oxford University students have as an Oxford Brookes student. And Yulia will talk a little bit more about that later, about her involvement with the Oxford Union. But world-famous libraries such as the Bodleian Library are actually accessible to Oxford Brookes students too. So that's one of the benefits of being in this city. Oh, I can see someone has been to Oxford as well. That's really great. I hope you enjoyed your time in Oxford when you were here. Hopefully you'll want to come back again as well after this. As you might also know, we're really close to London, so we're only 1 hour away. We have a bus that stops directly outside the city centre, the university campus, and that will take you all the way to London. You can get a return ticket for £10, so it's really quite cheap. And it's a really easy place to get to as well. So without being in the bustle, the large kind of a little bit daunting city of London, you can get there quite easily for a weekend, even for a day trip or an afternoon. So it's really easy to get to. Oh, I can see that one of our other attendees is going to be there in January. So I hope that you have a good time in January. I'd recommend bringing a warm coat. So we do have some quite cold weather in January, although I'm sure probably not as cold as you get in some parts of Russia. So we're a very young university as well, but we're also a young city. So in Oxford, 1 in 4 adults is actually a student. So that means that there's loads going on in the city. It's a very bustling city, and you'll always find students around. You'll always find things to do. You don't have to look very far. Oxfordshire is a centre for industry and enterprise, so that means that around this location there are lots of businesses where they have their head offices actually in this area, so outside of London, and also it's a big hub for engineering firms and non-government organisations, so anything within the charity sector, within the international relations sector, this is a real hotspot for those industries. And as I mentioned, access to the library and Oxford Union. So going back to those 4 points that we mentioned earlier, so we spoke about 4 top reasons why modern universities were particularly unique. And here's how Oxford Brookes can engage in some of those areas. So first of all, practice-based learning. Now at Oxford Brookes, many of our degrees will integrate opportunities for you to take part either in a placement, in a project, or in an event. So for example, our architecture students take part in a live project in their first year of study, and in this project they're able to actually be commissioned by a local organisation, by the hospital, by a school, to create and design space within that area. So they're working on actual real-life projects, working with real clients as part of their degree. So it takes them just that step away from the theory and into the actual practical side of the degree. And with our hospitality students, they will put on end-of-year events. Our hospitality students will work in our restaurant, so we have a restaurant on site, and every student must have completed some time working in that restaurant as part of their degree. So we have lots of ways to engage in projects throughout the degree as well. We also have field trips as part of the degree. Again, going back to architecture, our International Regeneration and Development project programme, that also encourages students to take part in a field trip. And as part of that field trip, our students get the chance to go to a city or a small village where they're in need of regenerating their village, reworking some of the buildings. So maybe the buildings have been forgotten about, or they've been just not very looked after, and our students have to create a project, design a plan, a proposal that they give to the local authority to then take forward and start projects for rebuilding the village. So all of them allow for very unique and kind of personal, professional opportunities as part of the degree. We also offer facilities that mean that external members of the public can come in and engage with students. So one of the examples of this is our baby lab through our psychology department. So our psychology department is very focused on particularly developmental psychology, cognitive and social psychology, how we develop language, how we develop movement. And so we have specialist facilities designed to look at this, including an EEG suite. We've got an eye tracker, visual perception lab, and so we actually invite external participants to take part in our studies, so that students are using real data, they're using real babies rather than having to kind of fake or simulate the environment that they're trying to test. We also have a project called Formula Student. Now this one's a really exciting project. We are a very strong university for motorsport engineering. It's one of the areas that we're particularly known for. And we have a graduate from our university in every single Formula One team in the country. So we have a lot of strong links with industry as part of that. And one of the ways that students, not just from engineering, but from all different ranges of degrees, can get involved is through our Formula One student competition, and that's a national and an international competition. So students will be involved in designing vehicles, involved in the marketing, the communications of that. We have specialist facilities where they can test the road vibration, for example, and our students perform top three every year in that project, and that's something that every student can get involved in. It doesn't matter if you're studying engineering or if you're studying a different subject. So again, it gets you that practice, that practical element of the subject rather than just studying the theory. And then particularly focusing on business. I don't know if many of you are interested in studying business-related programs. I suspect there are probably a few of you interested in business programs. So one of the ways that business students are able to interact with clients, with the industry, is through the client project module. So this is part of our postgraduate business program. And so one of the ways students can do this is by identifying an organisation that they would really like to work with. And what they need to do is identify a problem, an organisational issue, something to be addressed. And they would submit the proposal with the support of the organisation and also with the support of the university, and work on that project as part of their module. So they're having to interact with the company, helping to resolve and find solutions to a particular issue within the organisation. So it's just a way for them to be able to engage with the industry directly, but also that feeds into their academic study. So it's just an excellent way to develop personally, to put your academic learning into practice as well. And just to touch quickly on the other 2 points on there, so the glass tank exhibition space. So that's the exhibition space is for particularly for art and architecture students, and that's where you can host your own art project, the end of year project and the exhibition. And that's actually a space that we have on our campus itself, and we invite the public to come in for that. So moving on just quickly to touch on our state-of-the-art facilities, and we've already mentioned this, so I just want to really show you the pictures on this page. So as I said, we've already invested 150 million. Over the course of the past kind of 10 years, we've been committed to investing in developing our facilities. So we're planning 220 million in total. That includes a brand new business school and school of engineering. So we opened a brand new business school last year, and you can see that in the background on some of the pictures. I'm not sure how clear that is for you there. But it's something that we believe is really important for students and to help you to get the best experience possible. Moving on to employability. So these are some of the ways that Brooks is committed to helping you with your employability. So we have a dedicated career service that's open to all students, and some of the ways that we can help you to progress in your career and discover what you're going to do after your degree is we offer services such as CV checking, interview skills. We help you find placement opportunities, so we have a dedicated placement service scheme, and we also have various fairs and workshops where employers come into the university to meet with prospective graduates, students who are interested in finding out more about their particular organisation. So 95% of our students are in graduate jobs or in further study within 6 months of graduating from Brooks, so we do have a very high employment rate. And also we have lots of our courses are professionally accredited, so 31 of our courses are professionally accredited, so that means that you can work towards a qualification that will actually show that you were able to function within that profession. So examples are marketing, within architecture we have a REBA accreditation, so computer science we have a GCHQ, cybersecurity accreditation, just as a few examples. And then a couple of other things, so we have placement and industry links. Many of our courses will offer either a placement module, so that's 1 semester, and that's a module that you take alongside your studies where you get to spend time working in an organisation. Or some of our courses, such as our marketing courses, will offer you the chance to take a sandwich year, we call it. So it's an extra 1 year paid placement working in a company or an organisation. So when you graduate, so it will be 2 years in total, 1 year studying at the university and 1 year placement. And when you graduate, you will have already had a year's working experience, so it just puts you above every other graduate who's only studied for the 1 year masters. And we have lots of events as well where you can network with prospective employers. The other thing to mention is we have mentoring schemes. So the mentoring schemes are open to all students. Some of them are specific within each department, so you can meet with somebody within your department as part of a particular mentoring scheme. Or you can mentor your peers, so that might be a postgraduate student mentoring an undergraduate student in that same field. Or it could be an e-mentoring opportunity. So we have a service called Brooks Connections, that allows all students to log on. They can find a mentor in their field. We have a range of mentors. Most of them are previous students, so they're alumni of the university. And it means that you can then either just ask them a quick question. So we have an ask a question facility. If you just need to know one thing for your project, log on, ask a question, and they'll answer it for you. If you want to do a longer term mentoring scheme, so somebody to help you with insider knowledge to how to get into the industry, we have lots of mentors as well who are willing to do that. So it could be 6 weeks, it could be 12 weeks, it could be longer. Again, that's open to all students, so one of the things that we really do take quite seriously. And we do have a lot of alumni as well, so we encourage students to get involved in the alumni network events. And lastly, social and entrepreneurial engagement. So I'm just aware of time, so we'll go quite quickly on this one. But as a university, we're interested in students' creativity. So encouraging students to really get involved, to think outside of the box, not just to meet the criteria of the degree. So one of the ways that we encourage this is through our entrepreneurship schemes. So as I mentioned, we already spoke about the in-degree options, so the client project, the field trips. We also have various entrepreneurship programs. So we have a festival called Thrive, and this is a festival where we encourage students to pitch their ideas for a new business to prospective employers, and there are opportunities for funding up to £3,000 to start your business or your new proposal. So we've had students who have, as a result of this funding, have launched their own startup business and have been very successful in that. So that's one of the ways that we really take it seriously in order to put your theory into practice. And we also have an incubator summer program. So that's an 8-week summer program that allows students to really focus on developing a new idea, a new business prospect or venture, and so you will spend that particular time working with other students to develop your idea, and also working with academic staff in that particular industry and field who can really guide and help you shape your idea into something that could really be successful. So we have a lot of different ways that you can get involved. From a social perspective, we really encourage you to get involved in volunteering and placement opportunities in the community as well. And that's the way that you can actually gain extra skills for employment through your voluntary opportunities. So we launched a project last year called Brooks ID, and this means that with all the social interaction and voluntary opportunities that you take up, you can work towards a certificate of either bronze, silver or gold, and that certificate is something you can take to a job interview, you can take to an employer and show everything that you've done to engage in the community, all of the extracurricular opportunities that you've taken, and that's something that's very important, particularly in the UK for employers. They like to see that you've been involved, engaged outside of just your degree programme, but also that you have shown that you can interact with the society you're living in. So I'm now going to just ask Julia to answer a few questions for us. So Julia is going to talk to us a little bit about life as an international student at Brooks. So Julia, I'm going to ask you a few questions. So first of all, tell us a little bit about why you chose to study in the UK, and specifically why you chose Oxford Brookes.
It's known that the British education is considered as one of the best, and that is what it is. I did my first degree in law in Moscow at the Russian State University for the Humanities, and was exploring to continue my study to get a master's degree in the UK. I've been to Oxford last year, and I realized that this city is the best place to be a student. So, and in a year after that, I'm here and doing my LLM degree. So Oxford Brookes has a variety of programs, including a pathway which I'm interested in, international law. So, and I explicitly applied for this program.
Okay, that's great. Just to check in, is everyone happy with carrying on in English, or would you prefer Russian? Okay, we'll carry on in English for now. Okay, so you're studying international law. So can you tell us what you've enjoyed about this course so far?
So I would say that I'm satisfied with the content, teachers, lectures, my classmates, and we were given a variety of modules that we can pick. So among compulsory modules, we also have optional modules. So it means that I can study not only international law, but I also can specify on business sphere or international human rights field. And so we can design our program before studying it. And all teachers and staff are really happy to meet us, to talk to us and advise us on any queries that we might have regarding to our study, accommodations, social life or mental issues. And we are absolutely free to come and talk about it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what have you found most different then about studying in the UK compared to studying in Russia?
So we have totally different educational systems, and in the UK I would say that 99% of the study process is self-studying, and you have to be ready and you have to be highly motivated to study here and consciously do what you are doing here. And I'm surrounded by people from all over the world. with different experience, with different skills, and that's great that we can, that we can share our experience, and we can learn from each other's knowledge as well. And so I like the atmosphere here at Brooks, this international community. That's really interesting and impressive.
That's great to hear. That's really good. So I wonder if you could just tell us a little bit about your life outside of study. Obviously, study is very important, but we recognise that university life is not all about that. So perhaps you could tell us a little bit about some of what you've been doing outside, maybe your accommodation, your social life, and the Oxford Union involvement.
I'm living in a student residence. So with 5 flatmates. They are really friendly and nice persons. So we celebrate different holidays together, spend a lot of time together. So but besides that, at Brooks there are a lot of unions, student societies that we can join, and of course we can use all facilities, not only at Brooks students, but also as students in Oxford. So, for example, I have a membership at the Oxford Union. This is one of the oldest university unions in the UK, and I recommend you to Google about Oxford Union. Also, being a student here at Oxford, you can get a Bodleian Library card, and I recommend you to read about this library as well. And so, I can't stop being impressed by the library, by the Bodleian Library. So I love to read.
I'll type it here for you so that you know how to spell it.
I love to read, to study there, just to walk inside the Bodleian Library. Yeah, it's a really nice place. And of course, I have to mention that here at Oxford Brooks we have 24 hours library. It's really convenient and useful sometimes as well.
For the last minute deadlines. Okay, and finally, what advice would you give to any of our students here who are thinking about studying at Oxford Brooks or in the UK in general?
So I can say, don't think, just come. If you have any opportunity to visit the city, to visit our university, just do it. So, and it's better to explore your program, academic stuff, and everything that is interesting for you. And of course, we are all thinking about our future plans and career, and just pay attention for this issue as well.
Okay.
If you have any questions, just ask me or Lucy in Russian, in English. It doesn't matter.
Great, that's really useful. Thank you, Leah. I think we're going to have a question and answer time at the end as well. So if you've got some questions that you're thinking of, just hold them for now, and then we'll come back to them. So I'm just going to quickly show you a couple more slides just to let you know about some of our entry requirements and the more practical information. So as we're talking about postgraduate study, you might be able to see on there, most of our bachelor degrees will either ask for a UK 2-2 degree, or some of them ask for a 2-1 degree. So we would accept bachelor degrees from Russia, or if you're not from Russia, from other countries, we do accept a wide range of degrees and diplomas from other countries. So specifically from Russia, we're generally looking for an average of 4s for postgraduate study, but we'd also need to see your English language qualifications as part of that. Generally, we'd ask for an IELTS, so that's the academic IELTS, that is the most common English language test. But we can also accept some other qualifications, so we can accept a Pearson test, for example, and we can accept other international qualifications such as the International Baccalaureate, or if you're taking GCSEs in an English system or an international system, or IGCSEs in English, then that's something we can also accept. So the best thing to do if you're not sure whether your qualification meets requirements is just send us an email and attach your qualification, your transcript, and we can have a look for you. If you don't quite meet the criteria, we do actually have a really well-established pre-masters program. So our pre-masters courses are designed for students who haven't quite met the requirements for postgraduate study directly, but provide a pathway onto that course. So we can accept slightly lower qualifications if you haven't quite met the requirements. And it's also a good way of perfecting your English. So perhaps if you're new to UK study and you feel like you would benefit from a bit of extra preparation, the pre-masters course could be a really good option for you. And we have programs that are 12 weeks or 24 weeks, so that's 1 semester or 2 semesters, and that fits in just before your postgraduate study, and then you can progress directly on to that afterwards. We have a number of scholarships available for students. For postgraduate students, we do have a few taught degree scholarships. They're called John Henry Brooks scholarships. They range from £1,000 to £2,000 in general, and those ones are specific to the course that you study. Generally, as a university, we tend to assign our scholarships at the beginning of the new year, so around January or February time. So the best time for you to check is to check on our website in January or February, and you'll be able to see some updates. I'm just going to have a quick look at the question that we have here. So an IELTS certificate 3 years ago. So we do say, sorry, I should have specified that. IELTS certificates do need to be within 2 years, so they're only valid for 2 years. So if your IELTS is more than 2 years old, then you would unfortunately need to retake that one. But it sounds like the score of 6.5 would be a very good score to have. Most of our programs ask for either IELTS 6 or 6.5, so usually looking for 6s in reading and writing as a minimum. And so we also have some sports scholarships, and we have some alumni scholarships. So maybe if more than one of you in your family wants to study in the UK, you can benefit from a discounted scholarship as part of that. And then just to highlight where we've got some useful information, so we have our international guide. So that guide, it kind of covers, encapsulates life as an international student at the university. You can find a digital copy of this on our website. So if you look on the international pages of our website, then you can find that. What I'll do is I'll just post a link to our university website to the international page as well, and then you'll be able to find it very easily. So let me just post that here for you. And on that website you'll be able to see all of the different sections, so information about why students choose Brooks, life as an international student, and also some information about some of our student services, our visa support team and our accommodation. Another great place to check out our accommodation is on our YouTube channel. So on our YouTube channel you can actually see full tour of every accommodation that we have available. It helps you to make your decision a little bit more easily when you're choosing your accommodation, because you can see the inside of it. I always find videos a bit more useful than reading sometimes as well, so it's a bit more visual. So those are the main places where you can find the information. But failing that, here are my contact details. So I am very happy to answer any questions that you might have about the university. If you have any very course-specific questions, I'm happy to ask them or to answer them or to pass them on to somebody from the school to provide you with more information about that. So I'm very happy to be the contact person. Julia is also happy to answer some questions if you have them. So please there's no question that's too silly. Don't hesitate from asking us a question if you're interested. And we'd also love to see you on campus. So if you do plan to visit the UK and you plan to come to Oxford to have a look around, you're not quite decided yet, do drop me an email, get in touch, and I'd be really happy to meet with you and to show you around the university as well. So this is the end of my presentation. I'm going to hand back over to Katya to finish off, and then we can answer some questions at the end. Great. So if you just, what we'll do is we'll share this presentations with you at the end as well, and then you'll have all my contact details. So the best thing to do is to send me an email directly, if you want to come and visit, and I'll talk to you directly about that, and we can set that up. No worries at all, I've also put lots of typos.